Greetings, welcome to another day of Autoforge development. So yesterday we worked on, or today, whatever you want to call it, we worked on prefabs and kind of just moving them over to be in this new design that I think will be a lot better. So first we spent some time trying to figure out what is that design. And what I finally kind of landed on is simplifying the prefab significantly so that instead of having the engine set up a lot of stuff and then run the prefab script and then do some like post work as well to kind of get the prefab into the whole prefab stash that we had. We're just simplifying all of that. So there's no setup, there's no post really. It's just a module with an entity, or really it's just a module that returns an entity, and that's all a prefab needs to do. And there's no setup whatsoever, which means that we're able to run the script and get the entity and use it for other things. Like if we wanted some tooling to be able to track which entities are doing what or anything like that, or prefabs are doing what, we can easily do that and not have to be going through the engine to figure that out. So the big question was, how do we actually do this in a way that is streamlined and easy to understand and also allows us to use teal? What I ended up coming up with is that since we are just using an entity, so prefabs don't exist anymore, a prefab is solely an entity with a prefab component. Actually, in developer mode, all entities have a prefab component, so we can do like hot reloading. And so now that we're just working with an entity, I decided that we're going to add a add and then the component name function to the entity, so we can easily be able to just add whatever component we want. And that ends up looking like this on the teal side, where we have all these different functions, and over in C++ land, we have like a transform, render, animation. Some of them take the actual component that we want. Like the transform component is actually looking for data that looks exactly like a transform component. So if we go back to teal, we can actually see that we are just saying we want a transform component. And then there are other ones like the render or spine that are taking specific arguments for that component type, like the atlas path and skeleton path, and that's all it is asking for. And also it's requiring us to have those. And then the last piece is actually we have a we have like add location, and that's being added automatically, or kind of automatically, through the prefab loading, where it will go through and collect all of the components in our script folder, and then it will actually create and add a function to entity, to our like entity prototype, that has this like add location, add inventory, whatever our components are. We'll add that to it, which just says, hey, copy over this data and add the script. And that's a very simple, like adding a Lua component to the entity. And so then like the final part is, once we've loaded up our prefab script. We're actually doing that all right here, where instead of like running as a script file, we are requiring it. And so that'll actually like load it up through require, and we're using the module path. And then we get the result and we try to, get it as a entity. And that's pretty much it so far. There's still some more work to be done, trying to figure out how to like clean some more things up and then test it and see if it works. So, yes, if you want to see if it actually works, come back tomorrow and we'll find out. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.